Hi there, everyone. I'm Edward, and I'm here to present our company LittleData, which gives a complete picture of your e-commerce business. So, e-commerce is a massive and growing industry. That's investment in online marketing and in web development to convert all those customers into, all those visitors into paying customers is causing investment in measuring how that marketing and web development spend is working. And there's a problem, because e-commerce managers are confused. They want to know the answer to basic questions about how their store is performing. Which campaigns lead to sales?
Edward, move a little bit this way, you're blocking the...
Sorry. Very good, thanks very much. Okay, so where do users drop off before they buy? And if they run a subscription business, what is the lifetime value of the money they spend on those customers? And the reason is that the current tools are really hard to use. They're difficult to set up. You need an analyst to bring reports out of them and you need to monitor those metrics, and you need a developer to integrate them with your sites to capture the right behavior events. So we have a better solution. LittleData is about integrating the existing analytics behavior data you have on Google Analytics with the sales that you have on Shopify or other e-commerce platform, with the ad costs on your marketing platform, Facebook or other. It starts with a one-click integration, so you give us permission to access those existing data sources. Then on Shopify we can apply the scripts automatically to fix the Google Analytics tracking, so capture the full steps of the e-commerce journey through browsing through to checkout and buying. Once we have accurate data, we can automate the reporting. So goodbye to Excel. From one click, you can generate a report pack specific to your area of need. And then you can use those report packs to better optimize your campaigns and on-site conversion. So if you can compare yourself against a range of 10,000 other companies we're gathering data for, how you perform, and therefore what areas you should prioritize your spending. So we have a wide range of current customers. We're targeting mid-sized retail, which means typically people selling between 100,000 euros and about 50 million euros online a year. So an example would be Athletic Greens. They sell nutritional supplements on subscription. They integrate with Shopify to handle their payments, and also recharge to subscription payment service we work with. And since installing our app last August, they've seen a 90% increase in the conversion from their AdWords to sales. Oh, skip slides. So, all that customer traction has given us some revenue. Last year we did 190,000 euros. We have 450 installs on Shopify and 15 enterprise customers. But that's just the start of our growth. So the Shopify platform alone has over 600,000 merchants now, of which we reckon about 150,000 are addressable to us in terms of being large enough stores to warrant the spend. The next step would be Magento, with 500,000 stores itself. And then we would go to BigCommerce and Salesforce Commerce, lower volumes of stores, but higher average size of store, which means more money for us on our tiered plans. We're a team of 15 people. We're split between 3 locations, my colleague Ari and one other in New York, myself and one other in London, and the rest of the team of 11 here in Cluj. And we're hiring. So if any of you are interested in a developer role or analyst role, come and chat to us afterwards. The team's all over here. So let me take you through the demo. So it's pretty easy to set up. So we just get started first of all by integrating that Google data we talked about. So I'm going to start with the sign up with Google. I have a demo account. Sorry, on the way. No, good. Right. So what I'm just doing is authorizing Google to share the Google Analytics data and the Search Console data with me. And then I'm going to set up a new site. So all I do here is choose which data source I want to import. Now this site I have to switch because I can't show you the real live client data. But this is what would happen when you'd actually gone through that and affected data. So you're going to get a very simple dashboard. First of all, showing you what tools are connected. So in this case, Google Analytics is connected, but there's some issues. Facebook is disconnected. Then see the performance by area. So this is comparing to that benchmark of industry grouping. How are you ranking on those 4 key engagement metrics, marketing metrics, speed, and e-commerce? Then we have the report packs I was saying about, so we can drill into that and go and see reports specific to social media, to SEO, whatever I want to see. And then we have the buyer personas, so they can see from each of those channels what typical people like to buy. And then finally, we can just get some very simple graphs showing that we can totally customize which metrics we show, showing for a given date range how we're performing. So, that is the end of the demo. Thank you very much.
My question is, I'm Remo Lekincan, my question is, do you know your customer acquisition cost? And second question, if you know when you are going to be able to break even?
Yeah, good question. So customer acquisition cost is, as I said in one of the slides, we have quite a wide range of customers, so it does differ. At the lower end, typically it's a SaaS business, it typically takes us between 2 and 3 months of revenue to acquire the customer at that tier, you see what I mean? So it's pretty, revenue generative. We raised some money in January, so currently we're not profitable again. We pretty much got to break even when we raised the cash, 250,000 euros. We're now spending money, and we aim to get break even again by the end of the year.
Anybody else?
This is a very, very crowded space. How do you differentiate yourself against loads of competition? And second question probably is how do you sell? How did you sell to your customers?
Sure. Well, it's slightly the same question, route to market, I guess, because it's a huge, as you say, it's a huge market. There's lots of competitors. So the first thing, obviously, is having a tightly focused product on what our target market wants. And as I said, in this case, mid-sized retail, we're not trying to be super basic, but equally they want something that's just plug and play and easy to use, which is not true for most of the analytics market. The second part of the question, which also answers the route to market, is channel. So we want to be the best analytics plugin for Shopify. We're already in that top 5. We're growing nicely, and that's also how they pay us. So they come to Shopify, they subscribe through their app store. The tier is dependent on the size of store. So we have some surprisingly big customers using Shopify platform. We do have to give Shopify 20% of the revenue for that app store model, but it provides us a very easy way to install and get the revenue.
More questions? There you go.
Yeah, I was curious if the main value proposition for the product is it basically a matter of aggregation? So you're aggregating data from a bunch of different sources and making your workflow easier, or are there things in the product that actually help customers do things they wouldn't otherwise be able to do if they were using all these tools individually?
Both. So I think maybe the best way to answer that is just to go back to this slide. So the key point is that you have to connect and fix the existing data source before there's anything useful. The vast majority of e-commerce businesses of all sizes we found have incorrect setups. They're capturing garbage, and with that you're not going to make any useful decisions. So the first 2 steps is about doing that. Once you've done that, we can help them automate the reporting. There are lots of specific tools out there, dashboarding products, Data Studio, Tableau, etc. But they only work if you have great underlying data. Okay, so that they're not a solution to what we're doing alone. And then the final bit that's unique for us is this idea of industry benchmarking. So we can show you where you sit against let's say you're a fashion retailer in France. The right metric for you is how do you convert customers compared to other fashion retailers in France?
Yeah, actually it's 4 minutes for Q&A, not 2 minutes. So we have still plenty of time.
One more question.
Your pricing, can you elaborate on?
Sure, the pricing is quite simple, 4 tiers. Basic tier is $39 a month. Then it goes up to $399 a month at the top end. And we do have some larger enterprise customers who are paying that plus more for added services.
And where's the differentiator between those tiers?
Based on volume of transactions sessions or revenue.
And the 190K you're making right now, to which tiers does that relate?
Quite a lot of it's skewed towards the larger end, so we have a good, as I said, perhaps just to go back to this slide. Yeah, so we've got a volume of Shopify stores. Again, there's a curve there, but there's lots of smaller ones and a few big ones, and then the 15 enterprise customers are all on those larger tiers.
And this is mainly recurring.
All recurring,
All
yeah.
recurring.
Yeah.
We have more? Yes.
Can you tell us about a particular example of what your platform would find and fix, and what will be the outcome, so we can understand?
Yeah, sure. Perhaps I could just go back to the product. So let's pick e-commerce. Okay, right. So what we're seeing here is to say overall e-commerce is average compared to the sector we're in. So it's a test site, so it just says test, but this would say whatever you were. Sorry, keep the microphone still. So let's say, for example, so our actual overall e-commerce conversion rate here is very healthy, but you can see that our add to cart rate is not. The average for this group would be 5%. We're doing under half that at 2.1%.
Yeah, but what is the action point that you would tell the store to fix this?
Yeah, absolutely right. So right now we have a very simple what to do in the text there. But what we're building right now is the next features coming soon is what we're calling missions, which will give people a very set of tasks to go and action to improve this particular metric. So what we're first of all telling them to do is this is what's wrong. The next step is this is how to fix it.
So for example, in this case, what would be the action point for the store
to fix the add to cart rate? So what we're basically trying to do is get them to click the buy button there. Okay, so it's about designing the product pages, it's about better product photos, product videos, more visible buy button. You get the picture. There's a list of probably 20 to 30 actions you could go through there, and we'll give people a simple checklist to go through.
All right. Hey, thank you so much, Edward and LittleData.